This is video number 5 for the Scratch game, and really what we've been able to complete so far are the most complicated portions of the game. And so now what we're going to start doing is really making this thing, we can make it more difficult for the user, we can make it easier, but I'll show you how to do that. Now we don't just want to have 2 of these, so let's go to our mouse and we're going to start duplicating this character. So duplicate, duplicate. So I'm going to put, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 mice, and then I'm going to add another ghoul. So let's duplicate the ghoul, and notice this is part of the reason why I did it this way, is because now if I go to each one of these, they all have the same code anyway. So let's just hit the green flag and you'll notice stuff is starting to show up, a lot more stuff, right? Because now we have more sprites. Now the one thing that I do want you to notice is that they're all showing up at the exact same time, right? All 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sprites show up all at the same time. They sit there for a second and they disappear. Okay, it makes the game simpler. So let's make it a little more difficult and let's add some scoring variation to this. So what I'm gonna do, I'll go to mouse 1 and let's say mouse 1, which one is mouse 1? He's right there. So maybe mouse 1 waits 2 seconds and only shows up for 0.05 and is worth 2 points, and that is mouse 1, right? So I'm clicking on here and it sort of flashes right there, so I know that's mouse 1. Mouse 1 is going to be worth a few more points and it's going to show up at a very short interval, and because it's worth a little more points, let's shrink it a little bit so it's harder to get. So that one is worth, well, let's make it 3 since we made that pretty small. So 3 points. Let's make 2 of the mice relatively easy, so that's mouse, well, let's find mouse 2. Which one is this? That's mouse 2, and then where's mouse 3? So mouse 2 is here, mouse 3 is here. Mouse 2, let's say it shows up every second and it waits up there for 0.08 and is worth 1 point, and let's make it larger. Whoops, edited the wrong one. That's okay. Let's make, we're gonna make both larger, so 1, 2, 3. So these ones are larger and they're both gonna have, they'll be hiding for a second, showing up for 1/8 of a second, and changing the score by +1. So we're gonna do the same thing with this guy. 1, 0.8, changing it by 1, and we already made him larger, so we're good on that. Cool. And let's make this one, it is that one, right? 4 is that one. Let's make it a tiny bit smaller. So let's go a little bit more. And we will make that one show up every 0.6. Sorry, not show up every 0.6, but when it does show up, it only shows up for 1/6 of a second. And this one will be worth 2 points. The ghoul. Where's our other ghoul? Are they on top of each other? If you can't see them, just hit show. Show. We're gonna make we'll make one large, so maybe about that big. Actually, let's make it bigger. We'll just see how the game plays. So that one's big, and then this one is a little bit smaller, and we will make the smaller one here. Sorry, that's the bigger one. So this is the big guy. We'll make him show up every 3 seconds for, let's make him show up for a second, and he's going to subtract 2 points. So subtracting 2 points each time. And the smaller one, let's have them show up every 2 seconds and wait around for 0.8 and change the score by -1. Alright, let's see how the game plays. Oop. Oh, hit one. Okay. So what I want you to understand is that if you adjust the timing on here, and we didn't adjust the timing on a lot of these. Let's change this to 1.5 because I noticed at the very beginning they all kind of showed up at the same time. So 1.5. That one's 2. That one is, let's do 1.75. Okay. And those are different. Alright. Again, so you play your game and you just kind of figure out how difficult or easy it is based on what's going on with your character. So again, I'm going to stop right there, and there's a few more things that we can do to make the game even better.